Look at it. She bought that. Period.
What's the craziest conspiracy theory you think about, but you wouldn't tell nobody?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You got one tapped in? Craziest conspiracy theory. Pizzagate. They all did that shit. They got the island. Yeah, Bill Gates. Goddamn the first lady. Goddamn the Trump. Yeah, all of them. They tapped in.
Hey, Mike, what's your worst breakup story?
My worst breakup story? I caught him in bed cheating and I whooped that.
Oh, man. That's sad now. All right, next question. What's heavier, a pound of pillows or a pound of pennies?
A pound of pennies.
Pound of pennies. This is the last one.
He can't even say it. He's getting dialed.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Welcome to the New Normal Podcast, a place where we say what everyone is thinking. Today, we have a great high-powered show for y'all. And the question of the day, why do women think peace is boring? I got some great people with me right now, and hopefully our fourth guest will come today. Well, I guess my third guest will come. He's going to be late, and I'm calling him out, the date master, Chris. He said he's supposed to be here on time, but then called me like 15 minutes before showtime and told me he's going to be late, so I got to put him on blast. But other than that, I have Jazz and I have Sir Bradley with me. Y'all introduce yourselves, y'all hashtags, y'all where they can find y'all at, all of that.
I'm J Mac from the Tough Topics Podcast. On YouTube, you can find me at the Tough Topics Podcast. On all other social media handles, it is Teacher Bay IRL.
Toast making shot tickets and pub chases. This is your great Sir Bradley Ashton. You can follow me at Sir Bradley Ashton on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. You kind of gotta say that. I also have I Got 5 on it that's coming back soon. One half of B&J podcast. Me and my cousin Justin Evans from the JE show. We got some episodes in the chamber. Coming out soon with that. So stay tuned.
What up, Darius? What's up? What's good, bro?
Girls on.
Hi, Darius.
So first topic we're gonna talk about today is Keke Palmer, right? Now, I don't know if y'all have seen everything that has been in the media about Keke Palmer and her boyfriend and the breakup and whatnot, but it is, I say ratchet. What is it? Thottish. Part of, I guess, Black culture.
It's definitely that typical modern woman behavior.
Listening to the renegades out there in the world, the flim flammers, that's what I call them. The people that want to have equal rights when it benefits them, and then cry and want to be a damsel in distress when it doesn't benefit them. I want to ask you guys, and this is a real question before we get started. Why in our culture being hood and gangster is synonymous with masculinity?
I think it's because what should be considered masculinity is so seldom seen in our communities today. So it's like we don't typically have a good basis for it. And to be fair, though, I hate when I have to say this, some traits of that type of activity are considered traditionally masculine. We think of them being like the warrior class, having that sort of aggression, that kind of, no nonsense way that they don't like for people to disrespect them and this kind of thing. But if there ever was toxic masculinity, I don't like that phrase because I think true masculinity is not toxic. But if there ever was toxic masculinity, I think that it would be like what you're describing. Like we call like the gangsters, the thugs, the Pookies and Ray Rays.
What you think, Brad?
I think it hasn't always been like that. You've always said thugs, you always said gangsters in the community, but I think once you started to get towards like the mid to late 80s, going into the 90s, drug culture, gang culture, it started to become more popular, started to become more mainstream. You even got, gangs, Bloods and Crips, G's in Alabama, you know what I'm saying, which was never, a thing until,
Exactly.
my uncle told me that he said the movie Colors is what really
Yeah.
influenced like a lot of like gang culture, coming out of LA and like spreading to like other like major cities. But having that, and then also when you mix in the culture of single motherness, when you mix in the culture of not having what we will see, what we would think is an ideal masculine figure to have around, not just a family but a community. Individuals are trying to look for, something that they can fill that void with. So a lot of times they fill that void with the streets, and at the time, the streets give them what they need in that moment, but long term, it ends up not being necessarily beneficial. But because it's so glorified, so many people continue the cycle of wanting to repeat what they see, whether it be in person or on television.
And I think a lot of young Black men, or of course young men, period, but I know we're talking about the Black community, they yearn for camaraderie. And so, like, because that's natural. It's natural to want to have like brothers, be a brotherhood, and even to just want male leadership. So they get the brotherhood aspect from, of course, their fellow like gang members, and they get the leadership from what they might call like the OGs and this kind of thing. Whereas that's supposed to come from the primary leader should be, of course, your father. Like, I asked my brother, and my brother is a very normal 23-year-old. He be running the streets in his Charger. He likes to talk to pretty girls and do all this stuff with his friends. But at the end of the day, he actually genuinely does respect our dad. And he told me that ultimately he wants to be just like him. But if you don't have that, if you don't have your dad around to want to be like, or the little bit that you know of him, whether through what your mom has told you or whatever, if it's not, something that you like, you're not going to want to be like him anyway. So like Brad mentioned, you're going to look for that from someone else. It's just someone's going to fill that void.
I want to say hello, Miss Jordan.
There's Wanda in the house.
There's Wanda in the house. So I say that. Y'all make sure y'all like the video if y'all watch it. Like the video and share the video. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I'll greatly appreciate everybody that's watching us right now. Also share it. We need to get more people in here. Share it, share it, share it. We need more people in here. But Keke Palmer, was it a wise move? I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna go here. So this is what I've been thinking. Do Black women, and the reason we're specifying Black women, because all of us we've dated Black people. We seem to be, I guess, immersed in Black culture. We are Black, so I don't want to talk about what other races of people doing, right, because we have stuff in our race that
our own issues.
We have our own issues, right? And like I say all the time, ain't nobody white or any other race invited me to no cookout. So they invited y'all?
No.
Okay, so I ain't inviting them.
I mean, I've had well, it's because of dance, but that's a whole nother conversation. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but think about it, to that point though, let's just be honest, like those dance circles that you're in, they're probably not a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I definitely, I do the point, you know what I'm saying? I do the ceremonial point, like, oh, I see you, baby, you know what I'm saying? We're here.
Because I just know, like, Black people are a lot of times we're so kind of monotonous. Like, I think I don't think a lot of, for instance, like if you go to a club or somewhere where they're playing a lot of like Latin music or something, I don't think most Black people are gonna flock there. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing to be open to try new things like that anyway.
So I'm gonna ask.
Ashanti said hey as well.
Hey. What's up, Ashanti? What up, AJ? So I'm gonna ask y'all this. Do y'all think that women use men as sperm donors?
I'll let Brad go. I always go first.
Brad, what you think? Do y'all think women use men as sperm donors?
Some do. I don't have a percentage of women who
do you think is a high number?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think I think there are women who really believe, like, in their core being, that they have the intangibles, what it takes to raise a child primarily by themselves. And for me, I kind of sit back on that. I'm just kind of like, that's a bit of a I don't know the word I want to use for that, you know what I'm saying? But to think that you didn't create this child by yourself, right? But you know what I'm saying, conceptualize in your mind that, okay, I have a job, I'm getting paid good money, that can replace, the guy that will be here to raise a child with me. You know what I'm saying? Society tells me that I can be strong, I can be, and you're being told this, and not only that, you have generations of women telling you this too, and you're getting this, what I'm saying, fed to you and reinforced to you, year after year after year, to a point it's just embedded in you. You've been immersed in it, you've been baptized in that, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of women, they necessarily don't want to go through using infernos, what I'm saying, fertilization, IVF and stuff like that, right? Or going to a sperm bank, right? A lot of them still want to have the natural process of having that,
So you trying to say they still want to have fun creating the baby too?
Yeah, exactly. They still want to have fun. And then on top of that too, I think a lot of women still look at going to sperm banks as taboo.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go. Ms. Jordan said it depends on the age of the woman. I agree. I think that plays a big part too. But the part that you said that I agree with about them still wanting to have the fun of making the baby, I think me and my wife joke about this all the time, but we know the nights that we conceived. And I think that's part of the essence of what brings you together as people. So when people make those jokes about, baby mama and baby daddy still be sleeping with each other, it's like, I could kind of see that, because creating that child and the nights that you be like, yeah, you probably pregnant after this one. You have those moments. But Jazz, what do you think? Do you think?
Well, I was just gonna say to what Bradley was saying. It reaffirms the idea that I think a lot of us have already probably assumed anyway, that a lot of Black women only do think of men as either sperm donors or banks. Because like you said, she'll tell herself, well, I'm making a lot of money, that must replace the man in this household, assuming that she thinks that the only role he will be playing is providing money anyway. Right. So I think that just kind of shows how off they are, not realizing, no, there's an inherent value that men have, of leadership, of strength, of certain character, that even my father, his effect on me as a girl, like, he taught me. He never had to even directly say it necessarily. He taught me how a man should treat a woman, right, through how he treated my mother, all these types of things. And to Ashanti's point, with a lot of women, even though they will want to kind of have the fun, like Sed's talking about, I think that with women like Ebony K, who is really has a lot of people at least watching her, whether or not they're listening, they're watching her say these outlandish things to say, hey, we don't need to wait on men to be parents anymore. I want a baby. I'm 40. I want a baby. I'm gonna have a baby, and to hell with anybody who says anything else.
I think that is so detrimental to our community, especially seeing how we know the stats of children being raised, right, by single mothers. Now take that aspect and say, you're a test tube baby.
Right.
Like you don't even have a daddy. You don't even have a daddy.
You're an experiment.
You are clearly an experiment.
And then what if, just think about this. What if somehow, some way, the woman finds out who sperm it came from, right? And she gets down bad and hard on times. And she says, we had a night together, we slept together, and they take him to court, and he is the father.
Well, they sign a waiver, right? Well, I'm not assuming that you would know that, but I thought I've heard like that men, if they do decide to donate,
I don't know. I'm just saying, what that could be a possibility
to forego responsibility in that way. But since you added that caveat that she could say that they had a one night stand, these days you couldn't possibly go against something a woman says. If she said y'all had a one night stand, it must be law. Yeah. So with a goofy enough judge, they might be able to pull it off. But I do think that there's like a contractual kind of thing that they're like, okay, I'm signing this to say I am alleviating myself of any legal responsibility, financial responsibility to this child.
And I'm gonna say this too, man. Like, Ebony K. Williams is not a ugly woman, bro.
No, she's not.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you're literally having to resort to, going to a bank where you've had, the better half of 15 years, you know what I'm saying, to like get this done. And a lot of people probably say, well, she was trying to chase her career and she was trying to do this. And I'm like, well, it comes to a point where it's like, all right, if first of all, what's your race? I think a lot of times we look at it like, okay, we're men and we're women, so we're running the same race. No, we're not running the same race. We're not even on the same time clock. So, so if you know that you only have a finite window to potentially birth kids naturally, I would think that you would make that a priority and try to go ahead and knock that out. You feel what I'm saying? And if you are a career woman, okay, you take a break to pursue motherhood, and then once you get that back going, you feel what I'm saying? Especially a person in her position.
But it seems like with our women, it seems like pursuing both of them at the same time is like sacrilegious. Like you can't do both at one time. Like I gotta focus on my career. I gotta get to where I want. I gotta make the money I want. I gotta make the house.
I don't think it's so much. I don't think it's so much of them not being able to do it at the same time. I know a lot of times the excuse would be is, they don't necessarily have a guy that's quote unquote on a level, like a guy that's trying to go after the same goals and ambitions as them, not understanding that you're overlooking guys in the same process too. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's a myth too, because I don't think people that are in a relationship necessarily have to pursue the same goals. I think more or less they just have to have the same moral compass. It has to be where we won't cross this line morally, but far as the same goals, you might be with a woman that's more ambitious than you might be with a man that's more ambitious. Well, I think that's
probably the issue though. Like as a woman, I think I can have a little bit more of a, or I guess I should say different of a perspective from that. Like I, to an extent, do consider myself ambitious, but not in the way that I would think that a man, even a man who has similar goals that I have, I wouldn't, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like if I were a guy, I would be naturally still just more ambitious. I think that that's a better thing for men to do. Like when women become ambitious, it oftentimes equates to us foregoing things that we're supposed to be paying attention to. Like Bradley mentioned, after the age of 35, your pregnancy is considered a geriatric pregnancy. You are literally considered an old woman having a baby after just 35, and your chance of miscarrying nearly doubles. So you got to put that into perspective. Either you're going to use your fertility window, your youth, your most suppleness. First of all, it all coincides. You look the best when you're younger. You have the most energy. That's just nature's way of telling you this is the time to do this, not to focus on other things. You can still do them, but your focus needs to be what your purpose is as a woman. And I think a lot of women just have lost that.
I'm going to say this. Women, it would be wise, like you said, when you're younger to have children, because women are always talking about how their body leaves them or goes awry when they have children, right?
Right.
Saggier skin, saggier breasts. You would think a person that's wise enough would have children younger, because having children younger would mean your elasticity in your skin. Like they have pelvic floor lift. Do y'all know what that is? And so
it's like a tightener, like tightening.
It's exercises that women have to do after they have babies, and they supposed to do it before, but it helps you tighten your coochie back up.
Okay, so it's just a motion to do. I thought it was like a procedure. I was saying that sounds really extreme.
No, it's exercises
like Kegel exercise.
Okay,
it's basically what it is. Basically Kegel exercise, but it's different, stuff they do, and they tell you how to, move and stretch and how often you should do it to get your vagina close to back. It's not gonna bounce back, because if you ever see a baby come out of there, it's different. It ain't the same. So and that's what I'm saying. Like if you do that older, your body's gonna take a lot more time to get to that point to where you will feel comfortable as a woman giving birth. So I'm gonna say this: do nice guys finish last?
Yes.
Nice guys, yes. Good guys, no. I think there's a distinction. I think a nice guy.
I gotta hear this. What's the difference between a nice guy and a good guy? A little answer.
I think a nice guy is usually a facade. I think when what we typically think of to be nice guys is just a way to pander to women. So you will finish last thinking like that because women don't respect, though they may, they may on the online, they might, oh yeah, see, he gets it, and they're not studying him.
No play.
No play. But a good guy is just a genuinely good man. And of course, there's no way you can finish last being a good person. If you're based, if you're sound, if you're doing things the right way, you're, naturally the universe is going to reward you. I think that's just how I look at it. So that's the difference. Nice being a facade.
Not you using universe. What? Whoa!
I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean it
y'all,
like that.
y'all need to go watch Tough Topics podcast.
Yes,
Jazz
you
be going
do.
in. Jazz been doing numbers on her podcast lately. I've been seeing it, but not her using universe. And y'all got to go watch her podcast to see why I said that.
Oh my god!
But I want to say this. I think nice guys do finish last, and I think nice and good for me when I hear it. I don't know. I know you gave a definition, but when I hear it, they kind of sound synonymous, right? Yeah. And so it's like you'll be dating a woman, and this goes back to Keke Palmer's situation. You'll be dating a woman, you'll be treating her right, you'll be trying to make a family, even if it's a bad situation. Let's say we just having sex. I get you pregnant. Now, as a man, I'm coming to you. Hey, what are we doing? Let's try to make this work for me and my child and you. I want to, be a man and step up to the plate because, that's why back in the day they had things called shotgun weddings. That's where, fathers would, hey, you got to step up. Or sometimes, people would get married before the baby was actually born because you didn't want her to come into this world, the baby coming into this world where you're not married, right?
Okay.
And so I'm gonna just say that I think they finish last, and they get to the point where you would be in a relationship with the woman over and over and over. Come home, everything is nice and pleasant, and then you're like, I've been too nice to my woman. Now I got to go home and punch her in the face. So now she knows that. Now she knows that she gets that excitement, that rise out of me. That
when you do this, I don't know. Okay, so obviously you're not being literal, but I get that you're saying that as a man, you might say, okay, things have been going too well lately. I need to shake it up. Is that not the exact thing that we're talking about, though? How women are toxic for feeling that way, or are you just saying that you would do that because you notice that she. You know what I'm saying? You feel like she wants it.
I do that because I feel like a woman wants that, and that what keeps the excitement in the relationship, because that's why it's called, why do women think peace is boring? And some women, it just seems like, I'm gonna say this, gonna sound bad, but sometimes when you dating a woman, you feel like she's like a child at times, right? And she's got to act out, and what you got to do,
a little bratty.
You got to punish bad behavior, and sometimes it seems like you just got to come home, and if y'all ever seen the story of the candle lady, you just got to throw a candle at that bitch and just it is what it is.
Ain't nobody. What is that, man? Ain't nobody heard no candle lady.
You ain't seen my video?
I didn't see.
Oh, you gotta go back and watch. It was the last year, but the lady girl got hit and went viral in Birmingham with a candle, and she was live, and the nigga hit her. She had blood. Like, go watch it. Go watch my video. Yeah,
he just randomly hit her.
They be fighting all the time because she said after she get out of the hospital, she was gonna go beat him up.
Oh, this was somebody she knew.
This is her man.
Oh, her man. For some reason I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, it was her man. They be fighting each other.
Oh,
yeah.
But but like you said something, said because like. I think I talked about this before on the pod, but like, I had an ex that said that shit, bro. Like, she was just like, basically, like, she didn't necessarily say that I was just flat out boring, but she said like our situation, like our relationship was boring and shit, right? And she was just like, I've always dealt with like, toxic, toxic relationships and things always being up and down. And this is like the first time where things have like just been like stable and stuff. And it just comes off boring. And I was just like, well, darling, like that's called stability, bro. Like that's a normal relationship. Like, men, we value peace way more than I think women really think that they value peace.
Bro, how can a woman value peace when her emotions once a month gonna act up on her.
Yeah, I was about to
Seven
say.
between that time from, as a matter of fact, it ain't when she just bleeding. You have premenstrual cycle where you're
Bro.
PMS
And I think that's worse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
PMSing is worse.
I think that's
PMSing is
like,
worse.
bro. I'm like, who are you? Like,
Right. And some people, I hear some men talk about how when it's that time of month, it gets so bad in the house where he'll go sleep in another room and they won't even interact with each other because he's scared that anything she says is going to trigger her.
Okay, I will say that I know that I can be a little tough to deal with when I'm PMSing. And I know you guys won't believe it, or maybe you only will to an extent, but it feels out of your control. Like I will literally feel normal, several days before or whatever. And then as soon as I'm in that cycle, that time, I just feel like every single thing is annoying me to no avail. But I really wanted to give not pushback, but a different perspective to what you were saying. But I didn't know you were going to say that she outright said that she used to date toxic people. So she lost me.
I've had women tell me that too.
I thought she was going to say that she was bored in the relationship because the relationship wasn't moving. That is something that I have experienced where I feel like if we don't have like some shared goal, like if it's, are we preparing for an engagement, preparing for marriage, working on some projects
I'm gonna cut
together?
you off. Hold on. I say this all the time. Women, when it comes to progress, are like a dog chasing a car. Soon as y'all get what y'all want when it comes to progress, y'all don't know what to do with it, i.e. marriage. A lot of women push for marriage, and push for marriage. Soon as they get in marriages, they're like, what do I do now? Like, what is the next progression in the marriage? Because I've gotten what I want out of this relationship. So
well, then
what's
it's time to
next?
have kids.
But a lot of times after you have kids,
And you have kids for a long time.
hold on, but after you have kids, that's when the relationship gets rocky because people don't.
Yeah, they don't know how to. Yes, I told my parents that they're empty nesters now, and they finally kind of got in their groove. But when my brother first went off to college, I noticed. I'm like, why every time I talk to you on the phone, mommy, it sounds like y'all be fussing and arguing. Like, what's going on? And I realized
because kids are space fillers sometimes.
The kids, and it's something to focus on. It's something for y'all both to focus on. Like, whereas now it's just, well, dang, it's just us. It ain't been us in 18, 19 years, and now we're just here. Like, so I can understand how that can be difficult for some couples.
So do y'all think Keke Palmer let the world influence her on leaving her man, or did he leave her? Let me clarify. Do y'all let me know? Did it say that he left the relationship or did she leave the relationship? Do y'all know?
It's at this point, man, it's kind of hazy, bro, because you don't really know how reliable a lot of these sources are.
Yeah.
But the quote unquote sources are saying that he left, right? That he moved out the house and now he's seeking all this assistance, in wake of him, leaving the relationship. But as far as your initial question, I think it's a combination of influence of the outside world and probably what was going on behind the scene. Because like if things were good, man, and he felt some type of way about that, I don't think that she will be displaying these actions that she's been doing, like the TikTok, and now she appearing in the video and stuff or whatever. And I think with her, what I'm saying, let's think about it. She's 29 years old. You know what I'm saying? She about to turn 30. You know what I'm saying? She's still trying to remain relevant. You know what I'm saying? What was the last like television show or movie you remember Keke Palmer in?
Akilah and the Bee.
Now she been in stuff after that.
But that's the last one I remember her in. And she's always been Akilah and the Bee. And then I see the pictures of her and I'm like, damn, Keke Palmer, they got sexy. I know Brad don't think she's sexy, but because I love her lips. Like I think what's attractive about her, I love her skin tone and I love her lips.
Well, I actually said, if you don't mind me mentioning my show from earlier. Like,
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So earlier when I did my own show on this, I was talking about that, how I think that some women, that is an effect for them. Like when they get pregnant, they glow up, like their skin glows. And she dealt with that bad skin for so long. So like being pregnant cleared up her skin and it gave her a butt. So she was kind of feeling herself, which there's no issue with you feeling yourself, but you have a man. You need to remember that if you leave him or if you make conditions so bad that he feels the need to leave you, you are back in the same situation as literally you went from putting yourself in a situation where you're above a lot of other Black women to now you drop right back to the same situation a lot of them are in. You're gonna be 30 years old and a single mom. What makes you think you are cream of the crop pickings?
I say this all the time. Women don't do well. I agree with this. She's turning lemons into lemonade at this point.
I mean, but I
agree with that.
I feel it to an extent. Like you got to understand, like what's gonna be the long-term ramifications of that.
It depends on how people view it, because I'm gonna say this: we know most of the people that follow us, actions like a Keke Palmer has done aren't very bright, so they're gonna look at her and see that she's won. Right? It doesn't matter. She's 10 years from now and she's on a Vogue cover or something. Oh, she's still out here doing her thing. Mr. Darius Jackson couldn't hold her down with the whoop. But they don't know she's still crying. They don't know the turmoil that her child is going through. They don't know, like, she's still out here getting dogged out by other dudes. They don't know she might come up with she's still 30. She's still young enough to have another child. What if she has another baby by another man? Like, you are literally, and I say this, women don't separate themselves from other women. And I think else as Black people, we don't like the idea of classism, right? We don't like the idea of, oh, now you got to be from the hood or you got to be down and all of this other type of stuff. We don't separate ourselves and say, hey, we don't do what those people do. Those people think different, they act different, they live different, they have kids different, they have a different mindset and mentality, they have a different moral compass. And I think with women, for the vast majority, especially Black women, they all look the same. Like that viral clip of that dude. He said, we don't know the good women because y'all standing too close to the bad ones.
Yeah, next to the snakes.
So we don't. How do we know? How do I know you're a good woman when your best friend, she's a whore and you're out here hanging with her?
You know a line I hate to hear that someone will say.
Oh, I know you should say, just because she doing, I ain't doing it. I think you should have said it. But this old lady stopped me. This old lady stopped me. I was in the neighborhood in Kingston. I was playing, right? And my dad's big around the neighborhood, so everybody know him. They call him Meatball. So everybody call me Meat. Lady called me on the porch, and she looked me dead on face. She said, I know who your daddy is. I was like, okay, I ain't know who she was. She said, I know who your daddy is. You look just like him. She said, your daddy would not appreciate you hanging with them boys that you hanging with. She said, you ain't doing what they doing right now, but hang out with them long enough and you'll be doing what they doing.
I listen, I love that. And I have a few things to say before I forget them. First, I wanted to respond to something Ashanti said. This is coming from just my observation of men in large spaces, and just kind of just on the internet. That even though Said was mentioning that, of course, we have seen that Keke Palmer has kind of glowed up, but even still, I don't think she has that certain sex appeal that a lot of the other women in that cohort have, like women that are close to her age, whether it's a few years younger or older. And so she probably feels like we run into that same issue when women start to make more money, and they always say, why does me making more money mean I can't have a good man? It doesn't mean that. It typically just means that who you want doesn't probably want you. So I could see Keke Palmer thinking that she's too good for Darius Jackson, and she probably thinks she need to be with Michael B. Jordan or somebody. And Michael B. Jordan, I don't know if Keke Palmer fits not just her aesthetic, but her personality in comparison
to like a Lori Harvey.
Yeah, like I don't
Keke Palmer don't fit in that.
I don't think she fits in that.
I would agree.
And it's not a dig on her. It's just the truth. Like there's just kind of levels to certain what men consider to be having sex appeal or that kind of thing. And Lori Harvey, like it, love it or hate it, she has this sort of air about herself.
She's a classic beauty.
That's what I thought about Keke Palmer. I thought she was just a simplistic beauty. What? I just thought she was simple.
Man, she is around, bro. Keke Palmer is the definition of like girl, like next door neighbor, around the way girl. Like,
but isn't that not just her looks? But I think you're also saying that because that's her aura.
That's
like
that's what attracted to me.
That's how
like I don't like the high powered Lori Harvey.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I don't like her ways, bro. But just like aesthetically, like just like how she presents herself, man. That's just like it's just butter. Like you know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of men feel like that too, especially men with money. Though said, like think about it.
But like I said, if I was in that situation where, let's say, I had $40 million right now, because it probably take about 40 to bag a lower Harvard at this point. If I had 40, I don't think I ain't gonna let that. I'll smash her. I'll take her down through there. But as far as like my lady, I still would like a down south, humble, not in the limelight type of chick. Like that would be me. That's just who I am by nature.
And that's
like,
a mature answer. I just don't think a lot of famous, I don't think a lot of celebrities, like you mentioned, a lot of celebrities just aren't smart. A lot of them aren't smart. They have very strange moral compasses, if any at all. So I think they're just gonna say, look, I'm a multi-million-dollar man, a deca-millionaire. I'm not finna date girl next door, Keke Palmer.
And this is the thing, and this is kind of like, in response to like Ashanti's like statements or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she may have like money to like back her up, but it's like she's still gonna have to deal with like everyday issues. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different because of where she is and her visibility, but like these are things that she's still gonna have to go through. And let's just keep it real, it's magnified more because of the fact that you are a public figure. You feel what I'm saying? Just because you're a millionaire doesn't mean that regular everyday problems and issues go away. You know what I'm saying? I think it gets worse, to be honest. And then if you talk about like, what I'm saying, relationship, right? She may attract another guy, what I'm saying, to come around and stuff like that.
See, hold on, let me ask you this. Hold on, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
What I was finna say is she you know what I'm saying, she's not my cup of tea. But you know what I'm saying, some guys find her madly attractive. That's their deal. But
it's the lips.
Here lately, I feel like those she did a little sequence of headshots and some photos not too long before all this fiasco started, and I thought she did look really nice. But it's even then, I don't know what it is. It's not even that I'm not saying that she's not gorgeous or anything like that. It's something about. She came on the scene and lasted on the scene so long as a good girl. Like people call her the next Angela Bassett. She had that class and stuff. And unfortunately, that's just not popular in those circles. I wish it were, but it's not. So I don't know if she's going to be able to attract who she wants after this. She'll be able to attract somebody, of course, but she probably thinks that she's supposed to get.
Can she get somebody like that's parallel with her or higher?
So this is what my question I would ask. If you see a woman do a man she had a baby with like this, why do men line up to take on this same drama?
Because guys are just, like being an advocate for men, bro, it's sometimes hard because it's like when you think of some of the actions that some dudes be doing, it be like, bro, like you making it hard to try to defend, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because these niggas stupid.
Like,
just be real.
Bro, real.
I say that, I'm gonna let you fit. I say this all the time. The reason men ain't getting farther in life with a lot of stuff when it comes to being men advocates because pussy will always
Well said. Did you? So I know you say you don't always watch a lot of other podcasters, but Angry Man, I know me and Brad talked about Angry Man before. He talked about this the other day, and I usually agree with a lot of his sentiments, but this one I was like, I'm not a guy, so I know I can only have so much of an opinion on this. I don't think you're right. He said he doesn't agree with this new age concept where we hear people say like, this is the only time I'm gonna say this word on live, like dick discipline. He's like, he don't like when people say that. He's like, it used to be that whatever you would consider to be discipline would just be you using a condom if you're having sex with somebody. But now you hear more of these, well, you knew she was a strag, you shouldn't have hit, you shouldn't have slept with her, you shouldn't have dealt with her at all. And he's like, no, let men be men. We sleep with whoever we want. And I'm like, okay, but I do feel like if you're going to have that mentality, then you need to be prepared for whatever comes with it.
See, and that's why I disagree because then you go back to situations like a Mo3. If you can just sleep with who you want to sleep with, then is other things besides just put on the condom that comes with it. Somebody might be standing outside of this woman's apartment to set you up and kill you. Let's think about trouble. Oh, you sleep with who you want to sleep with, but you're going in this lady and man apartment and this man kills you. So we could talk about, and that's the thing. When men deal with whorish women, it always puts you in situations because those whorish women got so many men flocking around them, and you don't know who she's pissed off, who's stalking her, who she owes money, or who she owes a trip, or who she owes some cootie pop to, and then see you coming in and now he's upset. because you getting what he think he deserves. Did y'all see that video that went viral of that man catching his ex-girlfriend outside the diner, shoots and kills him, and then shoots himself in the head?
He shot the girl or the dude?
The dude. He shot the dude. It was last week. He shot the dude and then shot himself in the head in front of her.
Wow.
Killed both of them.
Wow.
That's so eerie.
And so this is what I'm saying. Like, we could talk about dick discipline, just putting a condom on. No, it's way different. And then you gotta think about it. Angry man probably in his 40s.
Late 40s, yeah.
So if you're using the concept of you're a married man, you're in your late 40s, you don't even know what it's like to be out here.
Well, I will say in defense of Valdez has been in multiple long-term relationships.
Who?
Angry man.
That's you know. But so for him, like that's all he knows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like those long-term like relationships. You feel what I'm saying?
So if he's been in long-term relationships,
he's not a fling guy. So how would he know the rules of flinging?
I think what he's saying is like I think one of the things, and I know like this typically is like a very dividing factor amongst guys like in the manosphere and the red pill when it comes to like accumulating bodies and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some guys are like, y'all, all y'all do is just think about sex all day. You know what I'm saying? Adidas. You know what I'm saying? Then other guys are like, shit, you need to get your 35 out the way. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't get your 35 out the way, so you already know kind of how to move when it comes to women and sex, and then you not just so tied up when it comes to vagina. So it's kind of like that,
But don't you agree that having that what I consider to be that type of discipline, like Said mentioned, it can help keep you out of certain trouble situations, and it helps you stay focused on other things.
And I think a lot of men, and I said this before, man. I think a lot of men do have deep discipline, honestly.
No,
for real shit.
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say. I lost my thought, but I'm gonna say this. I don't think a lot of men have the discipline, and I think what we looking at to be de-disciplined now is by choice. It's kind of like on the forefront of being an incel. I think this when you look at de-discipline, because if a lot of men had the access to a lot of these women to actually sleep with them, they would.
So what? Now I'm confused. So you're saying that if you
he said that he sees a lot of men practicing de-discipline, and now my rebuttal to that was a lot of men are practicing de-discipline by choice, by force.
I think personally, if you, I think if you have an abundance of bots coming your way, I think in that position you would be like, it ain't nothing to you.
Well, but see, I've heard a phrase before where it was like, it's not about how much box you get, but how much you turn down. And so I think that goes back to, I guess, what Angry Man was going against, this idea that it's no one saying that women won't come, because if you're a man in your purpose and doing all these things, of course they will. But is it really a good thing to just, I don't know,
but see,
sleep with all of them?
Hold on, that goes back to the point where they always try to say you're not going to get the women that you want when you don't have the money. Well, how I'm gonna build something and sleep with 35 women? Do you know how time consuming that is?
Yeah.
Do you literally know? Like, if you're not a man that has that je ne sais quoi, that able to talk, that smooth, that game, to be able to take a woman on a date and smash her on the first night, then you're talking about 3, 4, 5 dates just to hit this chick, right?
Yeah.
Just to hit her. That is a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of taking you away. And every time you want to be around a woman and you want to sleep with her, you can't even focus on nothing else, because sex with this woman is clogging your brain. A lot of people don't talk about sex with this woman is clogging your brain. And my granddaddy told me this. He told me, my cousin, and my brother, we was all sitting on the porch chilling. He came out there. He said, when I was growing up, he said we didn't have to use condoms, because the only thing that was out there was you'll get burnt and you go get a shot, and then you tell her to go get a shot, and y'all wait a week and y'all go have sex again. He said nowadays y'all can't do what we did.
They shouldn't have been doing it, but I understand what he's saying. That I guess that the worries is a lot different when it comes to sex.
Oh, I just had VD. That's it.
Yeah, right. Like, what do you mean?
But see, that was a common thing probably back then too, because you got to think about it, a lot of people weren't probably using condoms like that. And then
you got to accept that society advances,
right? But hold on, just think about this. Think about the rise. I seen 2 reports. Y'all seen the report in Houston? about
Ooh, the
how the
STD.
syphilis in women of new cases has risen like 78%. And then New York just released one earlier this week. New York talking about the rise in STIs in women. So now you got to think, why is this rise in women so high? Because that will go back to what I was saying. They all smashing the same nigga.
It's the 80-20.
They smashing the same dude.
It's the 80. I mean,
so that means a lot of niggas ain't practicing discipline. Is by force.
I mean, part of that could be true. And then also too, bro, like, listen, as a man who, you know what I'm saying, and had some droughts in his day, if you really want some box, you'll go out and get it.
You just gonna smash that fat bitch.
It may not. Yeah, look, listen. It may not be what you want.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But you gonna go out and get it. So I mean, shoot, I know dudes who deliberately go for the lowest of the low because they know,
They know they don't go.
Right, yeah. So I'm gonna ask y'all, I gotta ask y'all this question. I asked my wife this question this morning when I woke up.
Lord.
Which is worse, being a bad built woman or being a broke dude? Which one is worse?
Bad built woman.
I agree too.
You said the one that's worse?
Which one is worse, being a bad built woman or a broke dude?
I was actually gonna say a broke dude, but now that I know how many women I've met in my life that will literally still sleep with broke dudes as long as they cute enough. So yeah. Being bad built as a woman is not good, ladies. And I still have some ways to go myself. But if you saw how I was before, you know I've been taking this seriously because it really. Well, I talked about this with my aunt the other day, not to get on a tangent. We were talking about how excess weight in any sex is not going to be attractive. For women, it makes you seem more masculine. Like the bigger you are, you just, you know what I'm saying? You typically think of men as being big and taking up a lot of space and burly. Yeah. And not only that, your voice will deepen because your testosterone levels rise. When you have an excess of body fat, if you're a woman, your testosterone rises. And if you're a man, your estrogen rises. That's why big fat men.
Because I've been watching stuff like that too. And I thought that was real interesting. Like, damn, like, but you know what? That makes sense why so many dudes go for the big girls. Because they got all that testosterone inside of them. They so, you know what I'm saying? They so riled up. They like, I gotta get this about me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they probably about going after them. I think seriously, I ladies, that's not what we want. Okay, we might not all be like Tiana Taylor, but because she's extremely snatched and obviously she works very hard and eats very well.
I don't like Tiana Taylor's face, but her body's amazing. I don't like her face.
She's a butterface.
Yeah, she is a butterface.
Man, Tiana, man, she's a
mean. My hormones I gotta ignore. No, but PMS is a good excuse to act a fool. I can't with this.
Darius, I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just telling you that you think about it. As a man, there are things that I will never be able to understand about your experience. And I'll let y'all have that. I'm telling you, as a woman, when you are PMSing, I don't know the exact science behind it, but you really genuinely feel, and it's not just that you're easily annoyed, you just feel this pervasive negativity. Like you just feel like any small problem, you will magnify it in your head and it's like the world is falling. It's really sucky. For those 4 or 5 days, it's just like, I don't even like my own self them days. I'll be like, let me just go get me some snacks or something, or just curl up in a ball and watch a movie so I can just be quiet.
Fellas, I'm gonna tell you this, this is some free game. And this really works if you have like a steady relationship, like not necessarily like a exclusive relationship, but like you know what I'm saying, dealing with somebody like exclusive or whatever. Get Flow. Get
the Flow vitamins.
No.
The chart.
The chart.
Oh yeah.
So you know.
So you can track, you know what I'm saying, when she ovulating, when that window was gonna be PMSing, when she actually, you know what I'm saying, when her aunt come in town, you know, all that good stuff. Because
I call it Susie.
You know, Susie.
I call it Susie.
Just Susie.
When Susie come in town.
But yeah, man, when Susie come in town, you already are prepared. You know, you already got her guest room. You know what I'm saying? Established.
But see, what this also helps too. What that also helps too is when you have sex with her, you can put that on the chart too. So when she says, "Oops, I'm pregnant," and then you can look it back and be like,
"Ah, damn,
I ain't had sex with you in around this time in 2 weeks. Are you sure it's mine?" You know, that helps too because you can mark on those calendars when you have sex.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny how in tune God made human beings. Like if you are in your most fertile window, that's also when your sex drive is the highest as a woman. So it's literally your body like telling you to have sex. So like it's the weirdest thing.
And that's why it's so crazy to me that like so many women will like, you know, in our community will like, you know, put that on hold. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What you mean?
Like you have this natural occurrence to, you know, have sex, have, you know, reproduce, and you holding that off and not understanding. Well, let me not say that. So women, I think a lot of women, I think there's a greater number of women who have a greater understanding what they put on. It's like they know that they need to go and do these things, but in their minds, they're like, you know, they're still having this bit of denial, like, what's another year? You know,
I watched this video. Did
know?
you see it when I shared it the other day? It was this lady.
I'm gonna hit her up too.
She
I'm
is
hit her up
so stunningly gorgeous.
I'm gonna hit her up to see why she
and
will
I'm
do an
thinking,
interview.
now you are 40 years old. You look incredible. Your skin's great, and she has very pretty teeth. And she just, I'm serious, like she just exudes beauty. She seems so soft and feminine and sweet. I'm like, okay, what's the catch? Now she went into this long, you know, and I did watch most of it, but she was basically just doing that thing women do where they're like, oh, I don't want you women to feel like you've lost if you're X amount of age and you're not married and you didn't have kids. It's like, okay, look.
You know what? Not to cut you off, but I just think so many of these, like some of these other women out here know, bro, that it may be just, you know what I'm saying, like you maybe need to reconsider like what you're looking for, you know, as far as like relationships, you know what I'm saying? Like thinking
they
that
insane, doing the same thing.
Like for real, cause what we was talking about earlier, man, a lot of women are not getting into these long-term relationships like they think they are, or how they were, you know, in previous generations. It's an article, and I'm pretty sure y'all have heard it because it's circulated its way through like Man's for Red Pill, you know, communities. But Stanley Morgan, the rise of the she economy.
I ain't never seen it.
Can you give me some of the
so one of the details, and I know y'all heard this. One of the highlights they said, because it came out back in 2019, and they basically said that by 2030, they said that like 45% of women, you know, working age women are going to be single. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, single and childless.
Single and childless, right? And I'm just like, damn. I'm like, whoa, that's.
But see, when have y'all ever noticed though, like, do y'all ever feel when you hear those stats? I feel like they're accurate.
Is it only
white women? Like, bro, black women are having kids. I don't know where these stats are 100% coming from.
So check this out. So in 2021, because you know we've been having like a birth decline, right, for like the last like 7-8 years,
right?
When
you say do you mean the entire country?
Yeah, everybody, right?
But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they really account for how many numbers black people are adding to that. Because I think if you just singled out the black community, I don't think there's a birth decline.
This is the thing though. This is the thing. So in the article, it said only the Latino and the white community bumped up by like 1%. Black people and Asians actually dipped. And then let's I mean, I could believe it because, you know,
abortion.
Determinations. I did forget about that.
They got a high rate. They're like the highest rate.
Bro, like you make up a third.
Yeah, so I'd say you only make up, think about it, black women only make up 6.5% of the population. Yeah. So because we say black people is 13, okay, that means black women is about half. So 6.5% of the population, as you mentioned, 1/3 or 33% of the pregnancy terminations. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm gonna ask y'all this question, and we're gonna switch subjects off of that, what you just said. Running the red light, how y'all feel about that?
Absolutely not. But that actually is funny because I wanted to ask Brad a question about something earlier, and I only asked this because I do see some of your Facebook posts, so I'm gonna word this as you know.
Yeah.
So I noticed that you seem to have this position about like you don't feel that cheating is like a really bad thing. And I feel like you also may have said something to the effect of the idea of men being monogamous is just extremely unrealistic or something like that. So how do you meddle through that in your own romantic relationships? Do you just let women up front know that that's just kind of how you feel? It's like, look, I'm not the type to just be a one woman guy.
It's funny you mention that because I actually had a young lady read one of my posts in front of me. You know what I'm saying? And it was about cheating. You know, it was about cheating, man. It's funny how the universe works, but for myself, man, I just kind of look at it like when you talk about relationships, man. I think it's kind of hard to say like I'm with you and it's just gonna be me, you, and only you. Like it's a guy, and I brought him up, quite a few times recently on this pod. And you should check him out too. Guy by the name of BGS Itmore, you know what I'm saying? And he talks about like cheating, infidelity from time to time, because he'll talk about relationships here and there. And he brought up like he kind of opened you up to like this new line of thought of like, but it's more so on the side of the woman saying, I kind of expect, what I'm saying, for a woman, not necessarily saying for himself to do something, what I'm saying, but he more so expect for like a woman's nature to want to be curious and see like what's out there, right?
That's what he said about women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like long-term relationships. And he was like, he already kind of got in his mind that she could potentially do something. And he was just like, well, as long as she don't come home with me with an attitude, a baby, and a STI, you know what I'm saying? Is we good,
That just sounds to me like the bar is in hell.
My mom used to say this all the time. Women cheat way more than men. She used to say this.
They definitely cheat better.
No. How you do something better if you don't do it more? That's like me. That's like if I give you a basketball right now and I had a basketball and we were shooting at the goal.
Some people are more talented than others, Cedric.
No. Here's the thing, and this was highlighted in the shot. It's not the fact that women necessarily cheat better. It's the fact that the guys that women are cheating with, they want to remain in that role. So it's like they're telling the woman like, hey, like chill out. You feel what I'm saying?
That's the thing. That's the thing with cheating when it comes on the man part, because you'll sleep with a woman as soon as you hit that button. Now is I want you to leave your woman. I want to be with you and you and only you. It's like, I'm cheating on my wife with you. I can't trust you. You can't trust me. Now you want me to leave, but men, it's like, well, I know she ain't shit.
They understand their role. Yeah, is that what you were saying?
And that's
so that makes it easier.
It's not, and it's not necessarily y'all cheat better, but like I said, how you do something better if you don't do it more.
I once again, and I know this is gonna sound like paradoxical, but you just have to go with me.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever cheated on a boyfriend was when I was 18. That's because he cheated on me first. And I wanted my little get back.
It's always revenge, y'all, bro. It's never just like.
And it was so crazy because I really hit him where it hurts because he don't
say it was like a homeboy.
No, it was this dude that he knew, but he had money. The dude, he was like really popular in our little area. He like had the nice truck and stuff. And I literally like, I needed to be picked up from work one day. And he said he was busy. He was like, I'm gonna send my sister to get you. I said, no, it's okay. I'll just have my friend get me. And I had that dude drop me off in that nice truck. And so anyway, but I'm saying that I think certain parts of women's, like our nature, I truly do think it makes us a little better at deception than men are. And I know that might sound some type of way, but I'm serious. Like, first of all, y'all don't pay attention to stuff as much as we do when it comes to our partners. Like, men are sometimes often kind of aloof. Like you mentioned the whole peace thing. Y'all love to keep peace so much. I don't never know to men to just randomly start arguments or be like, hey, you said that one thing the other day. That didn't add up. I don't think that's something men do very often, but women do. So we own y'all. Y'all really just kind of be so laissez-faire with us. It's
I got great pushback for that. Y'all pick the dudes that y'all know ain't gonna pay attention to certain things that y'all are going to do.
Y'all we think that far ahead?
Hold on. No. Brittany Renner said in a car, she said, you want to get pregnant by somebody. She said, get an NBA player or athlete.
They're dumb.
Because they're dumb. Women know who's the dummy when it comes to relationships. Y'all already got it figured out. Y'all know who gonna simp on y'all. Y'all know who gonna spend the money. Y'all know who y'all can emotionally manipulate. Y'all know who the masculine one who ain't gonna take shit from you. Y'all know who, hey, if I push him a little too hard, he gonna punch me in the eye. That's why some women be in relationships, and I know y'all heard this, and they'll egg a man on and poke at him, hit me, because she knows he ain't gonna do nothing. She knows he ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, or if he does, she knows that she has the law on her side. You know what I'm saying? So
but typically the reason she's doing that because she knows who she's with.
Mhm.
Most people, when they get into a relationship, if you've been in a relationship enough, you know who you're dealing with and you know why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to like what you said about men not knowing, I think a lot of women choose certain men to date because they know, hey, 10 years from now, I might want to just, step out.
Oh, women can definitely men do the same thing though. You can smell a sucker. Like you can tell somebody green.
And let me add on to that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily that like guys don't necessarily pay attention. I think guys notice things, but women are such master manipulators that you could have a hunch that some shit's going down. Some in your spirit, like some ain't right that motherfucker. But if you bring it to her ass, oh boy, she's going to gaslight the shit out your ass. Have you thinking like you don't know what the hell you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. But that manipulation factor, it gives us that edge. Y'all try to do that when you get caught up cheating, and it never works.
No, see, this is the difference. This is the difference between women and men. The reason y'all have to be manipulative and cunning and conniving,
physical force.
What my mama say is because of the threat of danger. That's why you have the thing called crime of passion, because men would find that their wives or girlfriend was cheating and kill them because bitch, you playing with me, you thinking you slick, but you getting caught, and now
thought you was fish grease.
now I gotta show you it ain't what you think it is. And so that's why you had a whole thing called crime of passion, because men have the physical force. So to combat that, women have to be conniving and cunning and have
I never thought of it like
the
that.
soft tongue. That is your equivalent of a man's brute force. That's why they talk. That's why older women will tell you, you'll never go at a man in a masculine frame to get something out of him. You can't say, oh, you're going to do this whoop to whoop, because he's going to come back at you masculine. You don't get nothing like that out of a man. But what they tell you, your best bet is going to the bedroom, be soft, make him, bust that nut. Now he's a whole nother man because he didn't release all that testosterone, all that energy and everything that's built up from the day before.
Bro, that first 15 minutes afterwards, boy, you can get anything out of it.
Right. But and so like I said, like I said,
said, you want some juice?
But like I said, when I tell people my mindset on women, I tell them, I say, I get my mindset from my mama. My mama, literally, I can honestly say, me and my homeboys would sit around my mama, and my mama would tell us a woman's nature, and they'd be like, I can't believe your mama talking to you like this. Like, and that's why I say I had a good mama, because there's so many dudes I know that was raised by their mama alone, and their mama will still let them go out here, be deaf, dumb, and blind when it comes to relationships with women. And I'm like, what's going on?
I hate that. I hate that.
Miss Wanda said women are smart, manipulative, and dumb at the same time. It is the craziest thing, because like I said, the manipulation part and being able to kind of talk our way out of a paper bag, all that type of stuff is great. But then we still, I say we just because I'm a woman, I don't do it. But as a collective, still fall for, the men that we know ain't really hitting no much, or we still find ourselves in these like precarious situations. So yeah.
But see, that's why I think y'all a lot of women end up with the quote unquote bad boy, because it combats y'all conniving nature. Like, so where y'all, I think in femininity is kind of conniving, is the ever flow, it moves with how the waves and the moon and all that type of stuff. I think that's how women are.
Not tethered, free.
It's free. And what it does is when y'all end up with the bad guy, he kind of has that same type of energy that gives y'all that confusion, that sparks that energy. So that's why when we talk about why peace is boring, that bad guy gonna come in, give you flowers today, and the next day you're gonna find him cheating with Keke down the street. The next day he gonna take you on a date. The next day he gonna go wash your mama's car. The next day you're gonna go to the clinic and find out you got an STD. The next day he gonna act like you gave him the STD. Right. Then the next day he's gonna come in and rub your feet, and like he's gonna be so all over the place you can't put your finger on it. But he always tells you, baby, I love you. Baby, I want to be here with you. Baby, I ain't going to baby, I want to build a life with you. Oh, one day you're going to be my wife. Oh, he's going to lay on your stomach. Oh, baby, I can't.
Considered to be love more than I think men do, and men value respect more when it comes to romantic partners. And I know that women can't possibly value respect that much, because of course we see women date disrespectful people all the time. But like said, as long as at the end of the day they come and slither up next to you in the bed and wrap their arms around you at night, it's like you done forgot everything he did during the day, just because what you consider to be that love, that affection for those few fleeting moments is so important to you. Versus, of course, men, it's like, you know, with the respect, a man, if he actually cares about you or had ever cared about you, I've never known men to put up with the stuff that women do. I think that is the funniest thing. Like, if you moving foul and stuff on a man, like he will leave you. Like, he won't make a big deal about it. He won't deal with
Miss Jordan, what you talking about? I don't get what you said. You say, I say that the men on this panel change a woman's character to fit a narrative, always painting them in a negative light.
I don't paint them in negative light. I paint it as a reality.
It is a reality.
You know what I'm saying?
But I disagree with what you say, Jazz, and the reason is because of men aren't in a position or would gain sympathy for coming and say, "Oh yeah, I know this girl cheated on me."
You think a man? Let's go apples to apples. What the stuff we've actually seen men do to women, how they will like dog them, get outside babies on them, give them diseases and all that.
Yeah.
A based man would stay with all that.
So just think about how many men take on single mothers too, then, or how many of those
they be saying, "But she got ass though."
Like, but like for real, like on my status today. It was about like I think it said something to the degree of like, would y'all take back like a cheating partner? Could a relationship last after cheating or something like that, right? And my thing was just like, bro, a lot of these hell no's on hell no, I couldn't do this shit. Fuck no. I'm like, bro, quietly as it kept, bro. A lot of these motherfuckers out here, dog, is the ones that's begging to be brought back into a relationship, or the one that's you know what I'm saying, bringing the cheater back into the fold. And
can you explain what you mean?
What I mean by that is a lot of people, you know, when you had a conversation about, well, what would you do if somebody cheated on you? Oh, hell no, I'll kick that bitch out. I'll tell that nigga and put bleach on his clothes and set his shit on fire, you know what I'm saying? But when it actually happens, bro, what they say in fantasy and what they actually do in reality usually is like night and day, bro.
Yeah, we definitely have to remember that social media is a humongous facade. And I think even for me, I have to remind myself of that a lot. It's like, you know what? I think sometimes people make good points and they can be helpful, but the generalizations we make sometimes are probably not the best. Like, at the end of the day, of course, there will be some men that will take a woman back if she, you know, if she had the aesthetic he liked enough and he felt like he didn't want another guy to have access to her. Or something.
I'm just telling you, men just don't broadcast. Just think about this.
Trust me, I know people. I know people
just don't broadcast it.
Listen, because I know people personally. Like, I know people personally, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, both of them did they dirt, but you know.
But yeah, I know men personally too that stay
they still they shit.
Yes, like I'm telling. But
well, you said they both did their dirt though.
But hold on. But still, well, how we would always.
It don't matter. Like if she do it, it's
over. The woman ends the relationship.
So would infidelity be for you personally as a married person? Would that be like instant grounds for divorce?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay, that's
for me, but I can say this: I'm not like most men.
So you don't think that sentiment is shared by a lot of men?
No.
Oh.
And the reason I know, and the reason I say this is because I see how, like I said, pussy is always the thing. A lot of men are in a situation with women, and the reason the woman cheat is because she knows he ain't got options. A lot of women are cheating. Yeah. A lot of women are cheating and say, "Oh, that nigga ain't going nowhere." Men don't get on the internet and broadcast, "Oh, he cheated on me. He gave me STD," and vocally loud. And you hear a whole 30,000 women is coming. Girl, I had this happen to me too. Girl, just if a dude went on there and say, "This girl,"
boy, he finna get flamed.
Yeah, he gonna get flamed easily.
I don't think, but I think we have to remember though, the people we're talking about on either side, men and women that do either of these things, not just cheating, but if you cheat and you cheat a lot and then you don't care and you get diseases or you get caught or what, like everybody's not quite that extreme.
So, okay, let me ask you, how many times on social media have you seen a dude just come out, "My girl cheated on me"?
I don't think that men say those things.
Hold on, I'm just, you said it ain't nothing.
So I've never seen it.
So you've never seen a dude just on social media say, "This dude cheated on me," and in the comment section he had a whole bunch of dudes amen. So you never seen that. How many times have you seen a woman say she's got cheating on, and you see the comment section? Well,
Yeah, I see it plenty. But
okay,
I guess
so
I
hold
don't
on.
understand.
They go back to my point of saying that men aren't going to broadcast that they ladies stepped out on them like that, like women do. It's
So
not
you're just
gonna happen.
saying we just would never know. Like,
Yeah, you would never know if a dude has taken a woman back from cheating because he's not going to tell nobody.
And then
because it's going to be hard.
yeah.
Like, let's
well,
say,
that's why I asked you directly. So I at least for you're saying for you that it would be a total, like, you would not take infidelity from your wife.
No.
What about you, Bradley?
Taking back a cheating partner. Oh man, I had this conversation with my cousin today, man. I don't know what I would do in that situation, like just being honest. But for me, it will be hard for me to stomach like me taking that back. You feel what I'm saying? It's one thing to be ignorant to the situation.
Yeah, what you don't know can't hurt you.
Because you don't know.
Yeah, make sure y'all
but
like the video. Like the video. Go ahead, Brad.
But once you have that knowledge that damn, like this is going down, it's like, oh shit. And then it's like, you know, you probably like visualizing, you know how this mental manipulation to yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
That's gotta be torture.
And it's like, and it's kind of like to yourself, it's like, how you asking, how can you go back to that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's possible, but it's gonna be a lot of goddamn ground road.
I think that's what people mess up. After infidelity happens, you got to make something new, because that's probably why the infidelity happened, because of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
So you need to make something new and have a conversation, because honestly, I think just
I actually said that in my post.
I just think a lot of infidelity just come from boredom. I think a lot of infidelity comes from you want to try something new. I don't think typically a lot of infidelity comes from there's a problem in a relationship. A lot of people think, oh, there has to be a problem. No, I just wanted a new car. My car drives fine. I just wanted a new one.
But I think that goes back to what we're talking about with the dick discipline. Like, can it not just be that you say to yourself, and not just you, obviously not you, period, but you say, okay, though this sounds exciting for a second, but I realize just how many consequences this could potentially have, especially if we're talking about if you're married, you have a family, like you could lose your family. You could become a social pariah. You just said, you already know the feminazis gonna come. They gonna drag you for filth for years. You ain't gonna never get that stain off. It's a dude back from I'm from a small town. And it was this whole big thing. He cheated on his girl. They had been together all that time. And everybody thought they were such a loving couple. And he went off and got a baby by somebody. To this day, if you see him, it's just like, you just can't shake that. It's like, dang, dude, how'd you do that? So I just feel like there has to be that, or should be, that moment where you say to yourself, this can't be worth all of this.
Well, I'm gonna say this. When it comes to discipline, I don't think a lot of men have that and don't weigh that in the balance, because that goes back to if you had it for one, but then it comes back to the slippery slope. If you get too much, you might be addicted. But then it comes to, like they say, act like you've been here before type idea, because you've been through these certain situations. It just depends. It's not like a one size fits all, because like I said, you might have a man that just cannot control his urges. Soon as that that Peter Wacker get hard, he got it.
You need a person would need you. You don't think that that's like,
I just think some men need
pathology, like that you need help if that's how you really felt. Like,
I just think some men need to admit that they just want multiple vaginas.
That's not what he said.
Like
he said that you can't control your urges. That's different than saying you just want something. Yeah. I want ice cream every day, but I know that that's not healthy for me to do, so I don't have ice cream every day. Yeah. Like, I might want it.
I feel like this. When it comes to like natural urges, there are some things that you can't control, but then there's also things with those natural urges. If it comes too much, then that will be where you need help. For instance, sex is natural, but you can have sex addicts. Yeah. Food is natural. You have to eat, but you have food addicts. So, like I said, if you feel it, you can do it. That doesn't mean that I'm addicted.
Oh, so you're saying the difference
so
is
maybe not the control part. Maybe that was an over speak of me saying you can't control it. But I feel like if you let's say if you meet a dude, and every woman that's attracted to him or gives him some play, he has to have sex with him, he might have a problem. Because, and this is a thing too, I don't think men just turn down vagina like that. And if
I don't think so.
And if they do, it's not on the man. It's like, why? Really, it's like, who wouldn't a man sleep with type mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like, you have to think more highly of yourself. Like, why don't you think enough of yourself to say, like,
that's a woman mindset, Jazz.
I'm just saying, like,
that's a woman. I'm just gonna cut it out because I know you said
for women is quality. And for men is quantity. I mean, it's
part of conquering. Like
it's
I
variety.
got this piece of land over here.
I
but
mean,
your land might look.
then y'all, but aren't y'all the same men? Especially you, Mr. Dabble in Red Pill. Wouldn't you say though that a woman who has had a lot of sexual partners, that's not even a conquest for you anymore? Because she gives it up to everybody. That's not.
Hold on, no. Hold on. I'm gonna say this, and I was having this conversation today. That is true to a certain extent. Let's say I
never had her, so
hold on. Let's say I meet a chick and her reputation is she get around,
right?
But with that reputation, is nothing about like her sexual prowess being 8-1. But if I meet a girl and she has the bad reputation of getting around, and everybody, all the niggas like, bro, she can suck a mean Peter whacker. It's gonna change everything. It's different now. Like, if she got a bad reputation of sleeping around and nobody's like, yeah, I see why. If me and my nigga having a conversation and we both like, I hear such and such. He like, I hear it too. Like, yeah.
This is why I never like to have conversations with men for more than like an hour, because it always goes to this. And
look,
it's
I'll buy through a hole, buddy.
That's so anti like how I'm thinking. I'm thinking like,
because you're thinking like a female.
I know, because I'm thinking like a female, but
like a woman. But hold on.
But that's
so it's never been
part of your you know what I'm saying, your je ne sais quoi.
So no,
yeah,
you never been around
the way that you guys do.
You never been around women that have said, "Oh, he got a big Peter whacker," and another woman wanted to try because she said he had a big Peter whacker. You never heard women.
If they did it, it was never like she wouldn't like outwardly say that she did it. Like she might backdoor and do it, but never like that conversation. I mean, be like, "Oh shoot, girl, let me go on." I never experienced that.
But okay,
I think between the guys, it might be a more casual thing to be like, shoot, let me hit shorty up then. Let me see what you're talking about. But with dudes girls, I don't think
because I know plenty of dudes that you've been around the circle and locker room and you're talking about your conquests and stuff, and cats trying to emulate that experience.
But see, I don't like niggas like that.
But
I don't like niggas like that.
Hey, look, if Phil said, and then we'll pull you remember the scene from The Wood? Be like, you ain't gonna let me hit, but you let Terry bone. Like, bro, like, God damn.
Bro, I had a dude do me like that in high school.
Do you like what exactly?
Like, go to the girl and be like, you let such and such hit. Why you gonna let me hit?
As we also know is Dirty Mac and Dirty Pimpin'.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is
so like I said, it's just different. Like, if she got that reputation of being out there and she good, this like Superhead, like.
Bro, do you know how many men, bro? When I saw, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is how you know that she got some legendary dome. When that man Denzel Washington is allegedly appearing on your list, bro.
No,
shit. Uncle D, hey,
no.
Uncle D.
He probably had it.
That man, look, that man.
It's just gonna be real. We're gonna be real for a second.
That man,
certain women you put in front of men that just gonna fold.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
That man said, "Look, I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way."
And you take the baby home there, right? You take care of it.
Oh no!
But hold on, let's talk about Sexxy Red real quick because Jazz got to go in a minute.
I was about to say I might need to go ahead and slip out. I'll give like a couple comments.
Right.
I'm gonna have to
so I'm gonna play this video of Sexxy Red and y'all tell me what y'all think about.
And Ashanti, I agree with what you were saying. I didn't get to read the whole comment, but she was saying that she also likes guys who exude the discipline.
Y'all wouldn't know. Y'all wouldn't know because I know niggas that act like they got discipline and y'all be like, oh.
Well, at least act like it because it's sexy.
I mean, cool. What's that in the difference between women who act like they don't let guys,
yeah,
no, yeah, but then they let every dude hit wrong,
yeah.
like
you wouldn't know.
Clean. I don't use condoms, baby. Right. I'm the raw dog queen. I don't use condoms, baby. Right. I'm the raw dog queen.
Sexxy Red says she don't use condoms, baby. She the raw dog queen, right? So I gotta ask y'all a question: is this a person that y'all would want to come to y'all school and speak to y'all children?
For me as a I guess you say younger millennial, no. But you got to think, man. Her demographic is more so like the Gen Zers, and then you probably say like the early Gen Alpha or whatever. So her demographic is like way different. So it's more so from an entertainment perspective. Like, say I'm gonna just entertain. I don't think I would want this young woman, giving advice or being a mentor of sorts. You know what I'm saying?
But Brad,
I do know you were finna go. But young folks are easily, influenced. So they seeing what she doing, they like, oh snap, like they didn't brought Sexxy Red to the school. So
but that's not what's said. As he said, would you want your child
Would you want this person come to the gymnasium speaking to your child?
Even
at
though
school?
her target audience might be Gen Alpha, but they still have grown parents.
So you will feel a ways if they invited Sexxy Red to come speak to the children in the gymnasium, and her biggest song is "My Coochie Pink and My Booty Hole Brown."
Like, it's crazy that we're even having this discussion. I think that since like I said, I gotta go. Just my quick thoughts on it. What bothers me the most about Sexxy Red, actually, believe it or not, is not even something about her. It's the reception that she's had. It's the fact that there are literally people, a large swath of people, who actually genuinely are eating this up, like
embracing it.
And I'm talking about, like, really, I see women on my Facebook all the time. If you don't like Sexxy Red, you just boring, you just a grandma. And these are women my age. We're not talking just a little teeny boppers, 18, 19 years old. No, we're talking women who should be mature and to know that that's an insane thing to say. But we live in such a hypersexualized society. Not to mention, she's dirty looking.
They trying their best to make her seem like she's attractive.
Yes,
woman.
have you seen that post?
Her
natural hair. They're like, "Oh, Sexxy Red actually bad." I'm like, bro, this is an extremely filtered picture. Like, yes, her natural hair does look nice on her, but that doesn't mean she's bad. She has face tattoos.
Her skin is so porous to me.
It is. It's awful.
It's not she's not attractive.
And then, bro, like the fact that you got a cosmetic line.
Who got a cosmetic line?
Oh,
Sexxy Red has a cosmetic line that's like her applications and balms. They're named after like STIs and STDs. Straight up, bro.
You lie. I don't my phone.
She got a video. She got a video where she's like highlighting.
Is doomed, bro. You can't.
She got a video, bro. She like, this gonorrhea. It's the yellowy green.
Oh no!
What, bro? It's a video. Yes, bro. Like, real talk, man. My right hand to the man, bro.
We're gonna have to redo this. We're gonna have to redo the Sexxy Red talk. Oh my god,
that is.
Yeah, I can't. It was crazy to me the amount of women that I seen manning her coming, and then when she comes out, she throws her 2 middle fingers at a gymnasium with kids, and the women were saying, I bet these kids listen to Sexxy Red when they're not at home. Well, you need to let them listen to it. Y'all are the educators, and y'all are supposed to be here to protect children. We have the amount that I keep hearing of young boys and girls being molested and stuff at a young age.
Yeah,
this is crazy. And I said this too the other day on my podcast when I was streaming. I was saying, I come up in the deep South, and I never thought about this. But being in a PK and being in church and you hearing sex before marriage gonna send you to hell. And then we wonder why all these girls were having sex in middle school, because they feel like they going to hell. So misery love company. Now they finna take everybody else to hell with them.
You really think that?
Yeah.
Man,
misery love.
He has at least one every show. Every show you gonna say something that is going to floor me.
So y'all don't. So you mean to tell me a young lady, a young boy sitting up in church, and they uncle touching on them, or somebody, they older cousin that has sex with them, and they hear sex before marriage is gonna lead you to hell? You mean to tell me you don't have people that just be like, oh, well, I'm going to hell, somebody else gonna go hell with me?
I mean, that's probably a child might think that crazily.
Hold on, I got a question. So y'all ain't never heard of the women or the men that do revenge when they catch STDs and they go out and have sex and get other people STDs because they want other people to have them too?
I think that's an extreme case, but we're just
extreme case on what?
Like a person having a STD and then being at a point where they like
Google it. You're gonna see so many names of people who've done this. That's not an extreme case. This happens a lot. Remember the lady in Georgia in 2019 that the police was investigating and had to take her blood because she was saying she was giving it to all the people in her neighborhood and they was giving it to their wives and stuff like that because they were cheating and she was hurt. She was mad about it.
I didn't hear about that, but I know that type of thing can happen. I don't know how often it happens, but if you're saying that you looked up and it happens often, I won't say it'll shock me because we live in a crazed world. You have a person.
Hold on, you just said a whole woman. Hold on, a woman got a whole cosmetic line behind STDs.
This is the thing. No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that it's not possible that these things don't happen. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying like we're just having like a regular conversation about sex. Like I don't think that folks are just saying, okay, I'm gonna have sex at a young age because I'm going to hell.
No,
like,
I'm not saying they're having sex because of that. I'm saying let's say they were molested or something like that.
Okay. Something else extreme.
Right.
Okay.
And sin in church.
Okay.
Like, because I'm from deep south, Birmingham, and I was a PK, so sin in church, and somebody hears that, and they've been molested by their uncle, cousin, the babysitter, and they say, the pastor said, you're going to hell if you have sex before marriage. And then, hold on, then add this on top of it, you're going to hell if you have sex before marriage, and if you're gay. Because when we was coming up, they were still saying going to being gay is abomination.
Like for the scenario you just gave, some people didn't even know what was going on and happening to them until like years later. So they probably didn't even know that they was actually having, you know what I'm saying, sex or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But like as far as like them, I would more so see it still like them trying to get some form of redemption from it. You feel what I'm saying? Now you may have some cases, but I think they are in the minority.
So you think people have extreme cases in their life and they try to get redemption from them? Because that's rare. When people go through something, it's rare that they go through redemption. That's why we have therapists now that help people work throughout their childhood traumas, and things that they deal with. Because we all know and we all can agree your childhood affect how you date and how you move in life. And so that's why I'm saying we know people who are miserable, just miserable in life, and they want to drag and bring everybody else down with them.
And I'm basing this off of people who I know, who have gone through those experiences, and they, these individuals, I'll say, not to blanket it, but they've been more so withdrawing from it. And it took them a long time to really warm up to the idea,
and sometimes to even just accept it at all. Like some people have repressed memories, like they literally the experience was so painful that their brain has actually
forgot it. But your body remember it though.
When you mentioned Sexxy Red coming to the school and you mentioned how many young people get molested, it reminded me of when I did a show about this too, and I was saying, if you expect me to believe that at least, well, I don't know what may have happened that day, but if you expect me to believe that it couldn't be a possibility that one of those juniors or seniors at that school couldn't have linked up with Sexxy Red later that day, just because of the type of person she is, and that you're insane. You're insane if you think I believe that. So I'm already knowing like that's predatory behavior to speak vulgarly around children and in a sexual manner around children like that. That's just predatory, period. It doesn't matter if it's your song. You forego the opportunity. You say, no, I'm not going to perform at a high school because my music should be for adults. So I think the fact alone that she went just shows that she could actually be predatorial in that way. Like that she would have done something with one of those kids. I definitely straightforward saying
and these people are mothers. But hold on real quick. I'm going to pause the show one second.
Take a little breaky break and y'all get to have sad and bread.
Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all like the video. All right, we back, y'all. Jazz had to dip on us, so we back in this thing. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do y'all think that people, if they was hearing the pastor at a young age tell them that they were going to hell if they were not virgins before being married, but they were raped and molested and they had sex with other kids and letting people run trains on them and stuff like that because they thought that they were going to take other people to hell with them so they can have a big party. Do y'all think that is a valid way of thinking? Do y'all think that's crazy? Do you think it's wild? Do you think, you know, you wonder where I get that from? Why did I think like that? Y'all let me know in the comment section. But Sexxy Red. Let's go back to Sexxy Red. How did you feel about Jazz's statement about her maybe being predatory?
Oh, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, look at who she's associated with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Took it with the good, filling the blaze. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a woman who, twerked on a little boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that nobody thinks it's weird that these women are mothers and they're talking like this, acting like this, and trying to get, money and fame.
And got sons too, bro. Like not just that you got a child, but you got sons too. And like a lot of this shit is for like, bro, can you imagine the war chest that like young Gen Alpha kids are gonna have once they get of age and have like cell phones and shit and able to like Google and they can search like, folks' names and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially they go to like a school with like a famous person and they know they mama, like, you know what I'm saying? Or they mama was famous and they kind of did like, debaucherous stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, bro, ain't this your mama goddamn sucking some
Bruh, that's what I'd be wondering why women don't take into account. That's why I know that a lot of women don't care about their kids, especially women that do porn and OnlyFans. Because why would you want to bring a child in this world and you got that type of background as if the world isn't already cruel and brutal to children, especially how we pick on how we used to talk about people and mamas and stuff like that. It got to be worse with cell phones and bruh, just think about this. Coming up, we never got to see anybody mama fuck somebody.
Oh, it's a little boy. I think this article came out like 2 years ago. Said it was a 13-year-old kid. Said that he had like a nervous breakdown in school.
Yeah,
because like kids had found out that his mom had like an OnlyFans page. The little kid went to his mama and like begging her like, "Mama, please, like, can you get rid of this OnlyFans page? Like they flame my ass at school." You know what I'm saying? And her rebuttal is, well, this is how I'm making money now, and doing this makes me happy, and try to now she's trying emotionally manipulating by saying, don't you want mama to be happy?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, bro, like this man literally
he should have said, "No, bitch, I want to be happy. Your happiness went out the
mama,
door."
I'll get my ass flamed, bro. They clowning my ass at school, bro. They see you sucking all this doggone phallus on camera. The shit's embarrassing. Goddamn, take this shit off. Stop doing this shit.
That's why I'm like, bro. That's why I agree. I think that a lot of women that do that type of work should not be having kids. You have to think, why do a Sexxy Red and the Sookie Hunter and all these other entertainers that talk about all this sex and their music get to keep their kids?
Because they're still
just think about that. If like I did a video the other day,
man,
and
society don't care about these kids, bro. I'm just going ahead and say, bro.
We know that
society don't care about these kids, bro, because we already know, bro, that even when you pair a man by himself, that he still can emulate the results that comes with a dual parent, household. So it's just like we know what it is, but people just like, well, no, we're going to continue to dysfunction as long as we take away the power from y'all and give it to them.
Yeah.
And know that they're going to mishandle it. You know what I'm saying? We keep this cycle of confusion going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, we see a lot of this behavior, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then what's crazy too said it's always gonna be somebody, bro, that's gonna be willing to justify that shit, man.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it difficult of trying to hold certain women accountable, because there's always gonna be that population or that demographic that's gonna be like, well, maybe she did it because of that. Or maybe she did it because of this, or yeah, I don't know what she was going through. And this is like, bro, at what point do you say, all right, man, like she was just wrong in doing this shit, or she shouldn't have did that, or she should have thought twice before she made that action?
So do you give people a pass on certain things that they do depending on where they are in life? Like, let's say they had a lack of options. And so let's say they're in a bad situation, a strenuous situation, and this is the only way out. Maybe they have to, right now, right here, right now, my light's gonna get cut off. Maybe I do have to go and make these $200 by sucking this old man Peter Welker. Like Jada Pinkett said, I'm in a bind, Nate. You know what I'm saying? Do you would you be like, okay, I understand that you're in a situation where it's kind of messed up. I give you a pass. Not saying make a career out of it, but do you be like, okay, I understand that? And has there ever been something where you felt like you were in a bind and you did something that you regretted later on, but you was like, you can it's kind of justified because of the circumstances that you were in?
For myself, I can't, ever recall a time where I was just in a bind where I would do something that I would deem against like my personal moral compass.
Yeah.
As far as a woman telling me like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I kind of, what I'm saying, let a guy, what I'm saying, smash to, what I'm saying, get my rent paid or whatever. I ain't gonna lie, I do have the mentality to judge, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably am gonna be like, damn, you a little hoe out there.
So you still gonna figure that she's a hoe and she gotta pay her light bill.
But the only reason why I say that is because there's so many avenues now for women to make money that it's like women.
Basically, how did you let yourself get to a position where you have to go suck a dick for $200?
That's what I'm saying, bro. And it's just like, dog, like there are women out here who are finessing dudes, you know what I'm saying, out of money and ain't have the touch.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
agree.
I'm saying? Not a hill.
That's why when you ask women about giving up their social media accounts, they do not want to give it up because they know the access. And the people always think because it's so much Peter Wacker, they thinking they can get the next man. These niggas, if they post a picture with their ass to the camera, you know how many dudes probably sending them stars and stuff on TikTok and stuff.
And that's why when Jazz asked that question earlier about like infidelity and shit like that, I'm just like, bro, like just being honest, not saying that that's on my mind, but it's just like, bro, like truth be told, shit. Ain't no telling whether or not my girl doing the shit. You feel what I'm saying?
But you shouldn't even worry about that.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. As long as and that would be just was saying, like, as long as you got them fulfilling what I need out of this situation, like I'm not even gonna have a reason to be trying to speculate shit. You feel what I'm saying?
As long as you do what I need you to do, we good.
And that's the thing that I kind of look at it from a man's perspective, like, I think men have more of a leeway to do it if they choose to, because I know every man don't choose to do it.
Yeah.
But if they say that they wanted to entertain it, I think they have more of a leeway to do so because it's in our nature. We're built to do so. We don't necessarily get it. It does happen. We do get attached, but not as attached as a woman does. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think, you get pregnant and you need the protection of that man. That's seat carrying, all that positive stuff, right? But saying for men or whatever, like we just kind of like know like what to do inherently. You know what I'm saying? Now you do need practice because I mean it's an art, but I do think though, like when you talk about women though, it's like you just never know. And it's just like, why even worry my mind about her potentially doing some shit? It's only when it come out in the wash,
right?
Is when I'm gonna have a problem with it. You feel what I'm saying? And even then, like I could talk big bad, be like, man, you know what I'm saying, man, if I ever find out like I have a girlfriend, she tell me I'm gonna like eat at it. Like I'm saying that right now. I don't know what I would do in real time, bro. I'll probably be so hurt, like, damn, like like, saw the real deal, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I feel like for me, I know that I can't be with a woman that cheated on me. Like, you may not know this, but I was married before and went through that.
Yeah, you talked about it, and you even gave the scenario. Well, you even gave a scenario like you called and you like, hold up, I'm not at the crib. Like
you know what I'm saying? I'm at the crib. You talking about you at the crib? Like, it's the lies and all the deceit that you went through and the hoops you jumped through. But also, I had a feeling. So when Jazz was like, people don't pay attention, it's like I just had a feeling. Like, I didn't know. I didn't have any evidence. Wasn't then really just it's in my face that she was cheating. But it was like, you know what? Let me switch my routine up on this bitch today. That's what happened. And then, because like I told you, I was working 2 jobs. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna go to work today. Went home, took a nap because I was tired. You know what I'm saying? Wake up. This bitch supposed to be there 7:30. Bitch, you get off at 5. Where the fuck you at? You know what I'm saying? And call her. Where you at? I'm at home on the couch. Bitch, I'm asleep on the couch. How you at home on the couch? Oh, well, I'm at home on the couch. Oh, I'm at my sister's house. Hold on, you just said you was at home on the couch. Next thing I know, she came on the curb, swerve. Woo, and so I just knew, like, I already knew. I said, oh, okay. I said, this is what we doing now? And that's just, when she walked in the door, I said, this is what we doing now? And she like, what you talking about? I was like, oh, I know you cheating.
Bro, oh my God,
say,
bro.
I ain't cheating on you.
The plausible deniability, bro.
I said, okay.
Trying to play with your emotions.
Yeah, I was
like you stupid.
I was like, this is what we doing. And she like, I ain't cheating on you. I said, okay, my nigga. Like, is this how you want to play it? We're gonna play it like that.
Bro, real talk. I really do think, bro, that men do kind of have an idea that their woman is potentially stepping out on them. I just think that men don't want to deal with the headache of having to prove their information and not just going off a hunch. You feel what I'm saying?
See, I think they go back to your question that when you say men practice discipline. I think it go back to what I was saying. Like, they don't have a lot of guys don't have a choice. So even if they think that their woman is cheating on them, they're not gonna rock the boat because they don't want to stop getting pussy. Because she might not have slowed up on giving them pussy. So he like, you know what?
I ain't even gonna.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna tuck this in the war chest. But
yeah, I ain't gonna say that because I don't want to lose no pussy. I don't want her to go back out here and date. I don't want her to go find another coochie I like, somebody else I feel good with. It ain't hit me in the face, so I'm just gonna just sit here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think a lot of men are doing when it comes to infidelity, because a lot of guys don't have choice. A lot of guys don't understand that. Like, bruh, this is what I was thinking about. If you are a guy my age, I'm 35 years old. Well, I'll be 35 this year. And you sleep with women from 35 to 40. You would literally have a field day, because women in this point in their life is like, they know that they're probably not gonna get married. They probably not gonna have no more kids. They probably got their tubes tied. They ain't worried about it. They ain't worried about their shame of you know what I'm saying? So you'll have a field day sleeping with women from 35 to 40 years old. So that's why I'm like, a lot of guys are scared and they're worried about losing that vagina because they don't know what's really out here when it comes to sex. Like, these hoes.
So do you think that men, even if they're in a, and I think this is probably what, like, what Jazz was alluding to earlier, but like, should they still maintain like a abundance mindset?
Should men?
Like when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like in that scenario, not being wounded up of like, oh damn, like I don't want to rock the boat because this is my only source. You feel what I'm saying?
You should always have an abundant mindset. As a man, you should definitely have that mindset, because it's like, if your woman don't, first of all, people in general don't want nobody that someone else doesn't want. That's number one. Thanks. I don't think a woman wants that. I don't think a man wants that. You know what I'm saying?
I think a man wants it less as far as like the attention that may come with it.
But see, I'm okay with being with a woman that gets a lot of attention. Like, that doesn't bother me. It's how she handles
it. Gotcha.
Okay. Like if she's like, oh my God, I got 50,000 likes on this picture. Now we got an issue, because now you like that attention that you're getting from the streets.
Hell, the fact that she got 50,000 likes, I don't even approach shit like that, honest. Like,
Yeah, because you got to think about the psychological aspect of how many dicks is getting thrown at her every day,
bro.
If she got 50,000 likes, she got 50,000 likes on a picture.
Oh.
She got a good 1,000 dicks in her inbox right now. Like they just throwing them at her money,
Bro.
you know, trips. Hey, I'm gonna fly you out. Hey, look at my mansion. Oh, this nigga with the Lambo. You know, like niggas lifestyle fishing, like I said, with the green screen saying, hey, you know, I'm on the beach today. Or, you know, niggas in rental cars, borrowing their homeboy cars. So if you got a woman that's popping like that on social media, it's a lot of men out there that's gonna try to, you know, smash on your lady, especially if a nigga feel like he that dude. Of course, that's what he supposed to do. If she look worth some, he got the money, he got the bag. I'm gonna slide on her DM, see what she about.
Yeah, see what she can be about.
It just is what it is. Like I said, we live in a weird time. Social media, they messed up everything. I think us as black people, we so sexualized, and everything we got to do is about sex. It was, like I said,
I think we've always had a level of like sexualization within the black community. I think it's just like on steroids now.
I can go with that. I can go with that. I can go with that. But at least when it came to sex and how we viewed sex in the past, we had shame attached.
Yeah, it was still taboo. It was still shame.
It was shame. And see, when you get rid of the shame aspect of it, then it's like, no.
Yeah. And when you don't have women shaming women, that's when the shit really just like, you know what I'm saying?
Because they go back to the separation I was talking about. How do you separate you being a good woman from you being from the bad women over here, from the whorish women, for the thought women, the women that play with children, and not in the manner of, you know, sexual, but just like playing with the child in the daddy's face. You can't get your child this weekend, or you will never see him again, or you need to pay me child support. How can we separate you, the women? But like I said, one thing about it is women unite. The whores and the good girls all alike. They gonna unite on the stupidest, dumbest stuff. I don't give a damn. Like I said, I look in that Sexxy Red comment section. Her coming out like this, 2 middle fingers at a high school. Like this is really who y'all got to speak to kids. Is this really the role model? With her biggest song, the first sentence says, "My coochie pink, my booty hole brown." And y'all don't ever think it's weird that they always dressing these women up like Barbie, like Nicki Minaj calls herself Barbie, talking about sex and all this. Y'all don't think that's aimed at kids? Y'all don't think Suki Hunter wearing all these colorful wigs and outfits and stuff ain't geared to trigger something in a child? Because what do children do? They draw fucking rainbows and colorful shit all day. Y'all don't think that's to trigger something in the kids to be like, oh, I like this. It's pretty. I like it because she got green hair. Well, I like it because she got red hair. Like
she just expressing herself, saying she just wanna have red hair.
Yeah, they expressing this. They gonna express themselves on y'all children. That what's gonna happen, and then y'all gonna be mad when y'all find out. Well, you know, why you 10 years old sucking dick? Well, Sexxy Red says she's sucking dick and sucking other niggas' baby daddy's dicks. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. How y'all letting y'all children listen to this? Man, my children don't even listen to music when we ride in the car. I talk to them.
You know what's crazy, man? It used to be a time where like you would actually see like people like condemning like artists like a Sexxy Red, bro. Like if Sexxy Red came out in like 94, 95, 96, bro, she probably would have been on a talk show like on a Ricky Lake or Rhonda or you know what I'm saying, Jenny Jones, and you know, rap music. Is it wrong for our youth? And it had this big ass panel. You know what I'm saying? Like Sexxy Red and a regular exec and a pastor and, you know what I'm saying, a youth, you know what I'm saying, mentor some shit and, you know, folks in the audience, other women, you know what I'm saying? Like Sexxy Red, how can you just see yourself as a role model and you say a line like, man, can you imagine somebody saying some shit like that in 95, bro?
But see, the thing about it is back in the day, it was money in speaking against rap music. Because it wasn't as big as it is today. Now you got the same people that own a Ricky Lake own the labels. So when you think about that, back in the day, it wasn't like that. You still had new labels coming up, and they didn't know where this rap music was really going to go. Of course, you had, you know, popular people, but it was sparse. It was like your bigs, your pops. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is gonna come and go. They didn't think that rap culture was gonna spawn like how we do culturally, politics, the way people dress, the way people talk. They didn't think it was going to be so big and so influential. So now it would be suicidal for a talk show to come out and condemn rap music. But like I said, also if I'm
or not necessarily rap music, but like the vulgarity, because you still have people who speak out. Like anytime like a rapper dies, right? Not trying to change subject, but like anytime like a rapper like dies violently, you know, they'll bring up the conversation like, is rap too violent? Is it that? And then, you know, we especially like on X, like there's constant conversation about like women like Sexxy Red or Suki or the City Girls or Lotto or Ice Spice, and you know, talking about how these are the women that, you know, everyday sisters are trying to emulate, or a pocket of women are trying to emulate, but they're not going to have the type of lifestyle that these women have, and the results are going to be more so detrimental to them, because they don't have, you know, label backing. They don't have millions of dollars to, you know, wash away their errors and mistakes and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's kind of it's misguided. You know,
I was telling Chris this today. I was saying, you know what's crazy is that women start OnlyFans and not put their all into it. And the reason I said it's crazy because you go and put 2, 3, let's say 5 videos on OnlyFans and not revisit, refresh, or put new content on your OnlyFans for 6 months. And I paid $3 to see you bend it, flip it, shake it, suck it, do everything. You literally made an OnlyFans with 5 videos, and I get to see everything I need to see for $3. What the fuck is $3? That's a candy bar.
Man, that ain't shit, bro.
As a matter of fact, candy bars cost more than $3.
Bro, listen, I'm like, damn, like, I'm like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you're gonna subject yourself to public shame, your kids being bullied, mistreated,
oh my God,
people, you know, saying stuff about you, you know, maybe not being able to get a job in the future because if you get hired, then this person got to worry about, you know, you working the cash register. Somebody like, oh, I watch your OnlyFans.
You know, that's what happened with Mia Khalifa. Mia Khalifa tried to get on with like I think like a law firm or some shit. Like after she got to do scenes, and I assumed through the interview that she said that the initial interview was, you know, saying successful, like flying colors, but she was just like afterwards, it was like, yeah, they escorted her from the premises because they were like some things came up, quote unquote, and they were just like they can't, you know what I'm saying, go through with the hiring process, which I mean, you know, they found out about her pornos and shit. And it's like, you know, they can't, bro, because, you know, it's the reputation of the company. You know what I'm saying? Potential lawsuits they try to prevent themselves from goddamn being entangled and abroad with, you know, especially with a former adult, you know what I'm saying, star and shit. Man, come on, bro. They ain't finna do that shit. Now they may now depending on where you at, you know what I'm saying, they may try to, you know what I'm saying, get you for, you know what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't a Mia Khalifa go apply at Hooters? Hooters, that would be like the perfect place for you to work. Bring the men in, get great tips, I would guess, and men will probably
like women, like real talk, bro. Like some women, they really be wanting a different change, but bro, it's so hard to like watch that. Like case in point, bro. Case in point. So, do you remember, you know, for you know those who know, you know, if you know, you remember Kitten? Kitten, one of them old school ladies, you know what I'm saying, from back in the day. You know?
I don't remember her.
Google, when you done, Google Casey Kitten.
Casey Kitten, okay. It's a white lady?
Black lady.
Okay.
She was part of the West Coast production crew, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like she retired like some years back, you know, has since like married and got a kid and all this other shit. And I had just like so happened to just come across her Instagram page because like she's supposed to be like a personal trainer now. And ironically, her clientele is only like men over like 35 years old.
Okay.
You know, and even with her not having not a drop of like any of her content that she did back in the day, none of that shit, bro. On one of her posts, bro, a dude was like, man, I feel like I'm going crazy, bro. Like, he was like, did she used to do porn? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she just laughed and she tried to play it off and was just like, nah. And I'm just sitting back, like, damn, like it's crazy. Like, you cut your hair, you know what I'm saying? You doing a whole totally different, like, lifestyle venture, career, all this other shit. And people are still able to trace you back to what you used to do. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about the porn.
Yes, bro. Yes,
But
bro.
see, I don't understand why women still get into that industry and then think it's going to be different. Like, we've seen this happen. We've seen this show a million times. Like, we've literally seen this show. Excuse me. We've literally seen this show a million times, and women still think it's not going to happen to them. Women still think men are not going to sexualize them. I mean, women still think they're going to be able to have a fruitful marriage after this. Like, how many times have I want to say the women crazy, the men just as crazy who take these women up on these offers to marry them.
Dog, the dude that's married to Casey Kitten fam, I'm like, dog, like he a white guy, by the way. And I'm just like, bro, do you not know what she used to do, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
or like Jasmine Cashmere.
Bro, I heard she like a whole pastor out here, bro.
Yes.
Can you imagine, bro, being in her congregation and you like, bro, like I hear the sermon,
and that's
but I'm seeing this visual.
That would be a good podcast. We should find out what church she go to.
Oh, gotta do it for the bros. Gotta do it.
That would be a good podcast.
Gotta do
going to her church and seeing what it's like in there, because it's probably gonna be a lot of old niggas that fantasize.
But you know what? That's the reason why I think Casey Kitten made her clientele like that. She said, you know what, shit, I already know a lot of y'all remember me from my porno days, so let me capitalize on that and just flip it. You feel what I'm saying? Give y'all some eye candy, you know what I'm saying? But also too getting in tune with your health at the same time.
Yeah.
Still using her feminine wiles, but just in a different avenue.
Hey, that junk crazy.
But yeah, it's sad. It's funny you mentioned it, like, women who are mothers, because it's a chick who I know. I don't know if she's still doing it or not, but I remember telling her, I was like, hey man, you may want to chill out with that junk, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And I ain't want to like blast her shit or whatever. But
you know her personally?
I don't know her personally, but I've been around her in space.
And she do like OnlyFans or something?
Yeah, like she does OnlyFans. I don't know if she does it extreme. Some folks be doing like that soft core, you know what I'm saying? They may do.
Is she cute?
I mean, she model, you know what I'm saying? Like she, you know what I'm saying?
What her body like?
She petite.
So
small.
Okay, so she got no ass.
Slender, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, it's been a minute since I seen her, so I mean, she may got a little.
Okay. Because I just want to know who she is.
But yeah, man, but the reason why I said that,
is she light skinned?
Yeah.
Got a gap?
No.
Okay, it's not the same one. Okay.
But she got a son.
Okay.
And I'm kind of sensitive to that type of stuff, man. After like hearing like guys like, Mike Tyson talk about his traumas with his mama and her having sex with men in the same bed that he's sleeping in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that you don't think is going to affect a child long term. So,
bruh, I had a girl try to sleep with me in the bed where her baby was laying out.
Bro, same here. Same here, bro.
Her baby was like, I like, bro, I can't do this.
Same here, bro. Look, gonna tell me he sleep, he ain't gonna remember.
Same
I'm like, bro, he's right there.
It's the same exact thing.
I'm like, he's right there, bro.
It might be a little different if that was your child. Maybe.
I don't know.
Because I'm gonna say this. Okay, so
I
hold on. I'm gonna say this, and the reason I'm gonna say this is because, okay, you and your wife got a newborn baby, right? Let's say you and your wife got a newborn baby, right?
Okay,
and y'all baby is sleeping in the room with y'all in the bassinet. Okay, maybe not in the same bed. Okay, but the bassinet.
I mean, that's a little different because they're in their own like little, you know what I'm saying, incubator type situation. Woo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, and so but the baby sleep too.
Yeah.
and y'all, this baby been kind of cop blocking, so y'all was like, might need to go in and try to, do something now. Cause the covers might be over y'all. They might not can really see what's going on. Is that acceptable?
It's slightly different. I'm just weirded out by the fact that my child is in the same space where I'm about to plow their mother. You feel what I'm saying? That's why.
That's how the child got here.
I mean, but damn, bro, like, can we have some type of boundary, bro?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I agree. Look, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Or shit, like, we got a situation where like our bathroom is in our bedroom.
Yeah.
Shit, I probably got into the shit where I push the bassinet in the and had a little,
Nah, you just gotta go to another room because you gonna run the risk. That's why he ain't got no kid, because you ain't finna move that baby. No. Hey, we need to get up out of here because you too, like, bro, I swear, something like this. Oh my God, it started back up. Now you waiting 3 more hours for this baby to go back to sleep. Now you gotta go. You gotta go to another room. You gotta go to another room.
Or we relocate to the bathroom and shit.
Yeah. That sound more.
Yeah,
better.
sound more reasonable.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah, so like I said, it's just
just crazy, man. I'm just like, you don't know the type of trauma that you're potentially setting your child up for, and even if you haven't done it in years,
yeah,
it's still the fact that people could even just Google that shit, man.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
You can't. Everything lasts on the internet forever, and you got to think about people getting stuff scrubbed off the internet. How many people do you think screenshotted the shit you trying to get scrubbed off the internet?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that's why you got to be careful. And I don't think people are, especially women, view the long game. Now, man doing porn is probably way different.
Oh man, that shit way different, bro.
You getting high fives as a man, as a woman. At the porns, a lot of times they want
you
to duck
whore.
Yeah, you trying to duck off as a woman. So, like I said, it is what it is. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I think I think we have covered a vast multitude of topics tonight. It's always a pleasure. To share the platform with you. You know what I'm saying? For sure. To grace this, podcast with you.
Thank you for coming through, bro. Thank you. Hey, if y'all watching the video, make sure y'all like the video for us real quick.
Like the video.
Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Like Brad say, tell them all your social media handles, and we finna get up out of here.
Sir Bradley Ashton, Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter. You can also follow me at I Got 5 on it and B&J Podcast, and that's on Instagram.
I want to tell you guys, thank y'all for tuning in. It's the New Normal Podcast. You can find me on all platforms, and on Instagram it's New Normal Podcast 20. I try to change it without the numbers, but somebody else got to take it. So I'm on all platforms, the New Normal Podcast, and Instagram is the New Normal Podcast 20. Thank y'all for being here. I want to tell y'all I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.